Shahid Afridi is one of the most recognized names in the cricketing world. His exploits on the field have earned him a reputation as one of the most explosive and impactful players ever to play cricket. He represented Pakistan from 1996 to 2015 in one-day, T20s and Test matches. With an ability to hit boundaries at will and bowl useful leg spin that got him over 500 international wickets, he established himself as an all-rounder and a key contributor to his team. But like so many sports personalities, Afridi is not without controversy. The view on Afridi is pretty commonly split into two groups. One that says Afridi is a cricket legend, and the other that says he never really contributed enough with a bat or ball to be considered great. In this video, we'll dissect Afridi's ODI and T20 career and see whether Afridi really is a GOAT or not. We'll do this by looking at his contribution as a playing member of his team, his impact on matches that he played in, and a comparison with the other all-rounders. So let's start with his contribution. Shahid Afridi played 398 ODIs between 1996 and 2015 as an all-rounder. Afridi's total count of 398 one-day matches played is the fifth highest ever, behind great players like Sachin Tendulkar, Mahela Jayawardene, Sanat Jayasuriya and Kumar Sangakkara. Having played these many matches, Afridi has had plenty of opportunities to shine. During his career, he batted in nearly every single position from number 1 to number 10, making just over 10,000 runs and taking over 550 wickets as a frontline attacking bowler in all formats of the game. Afridi is the only player in the history of ODI cricket that has made over 5,000 runs and taken over 350 wickets. In T20s, Afridi has also played over 98 matches and is one of 7 players to have played over 50 T20 matches, taken over 50 wickets and scored over 1,000 runs. Having played nearly 400 ODIs and 98 T20s, Afridi has also bagged over 40 Man of the Match awards in both formats of the game. These stats on their own should be enough to put Afridi at the top, but it's when you dive deeper into his record that a slightly different story emerges. Specifically when you start looking at his averages, economy and strike rates as an all-rounder. If you go back to his career ODI batting average, it does show remarkable consistency in that after he hit his now famous first century in his second ODI, his average started going south and stayed at the same level throughout his career. This can't possibly be a 20-year-long dip in form, but it actually highlights Afridi's limitation as a batsman. Soon after his batting runs dried up, Afridi started referring to himself as a bowling all-rounder. After that, his bowling average and strike rate started improving, indicating Afridi's natural inclination towards bowling than batting. This is when he started to become a better bowler than a batsman. It's not the best of average and strike rate amongst top bowlers, but at least it remains consistent. Next, we look at his impact as a player and specifically as an all-rounder. For the purpose of this video, we'll define impact as a measure of Afridi's contribution towards total team runs and wickets taken and whether that affected the result of the game. Of the 398 ODI matches he has played, Afridi has scored 40 runs or more or taken 3 or more wickets in a quarter of the matches he has played in. Less than half of those matches his team ended up winning. His performances show a similar pattern against the top 5 teams. Only 10 times or 3% of the matches he has played in his career has Afridi scored 40 runs or more and taken 3 wickets in the same match. Afridi's T20 stats are slightly better than his ODI stats, but they both tell a very similar story. Afridi has played 99 T20s, the third most by any player, and he has scored 30 or more runs and taken 2 or more wickets in 31% of the matches he has played in. These numbers against the top 5 T20 teams of his time are pretty similar to his ODI stats. From an all-round perspective, Afridi has scored 30 runs or more and taken 2 or more wickets in the same match a mere 4 times in T20s, very similar to his percentage in ODIs. In our third and final piece, we'll compare Afridi with various great all-rounders to see how he stood up against other potential GOATs. In ODIs, the first thing that stands out is that some of the renowned all-rounders like Kallis, Jayasuriya, Shakib have all scored 40 runs or more or taken 3 wickets or more on far more occasions than Afridi, even though Afridi has played a lot more matches than them with the exception of Jayasuriya. While Bangladesh hasn't recorded many ODI victories, Shakib has still managed to score 40 or more runs or taken 3 or more wickets in more winning causes than Afridi, nearly twice as much. When you look at the runs scored and wickets taken against the top 5 teams, Afridi again lags behind the other all-rounders like Andrew Simmons, Jacques Kallis, Shane Watson. However, there are some areas where Afridi does hold his own. For example, Afridi's percentage of the Man of the Match awards are very similar to other great all-rounders. In T20s, Afridi has built up quite a reputation for himself. For example, he's won the second most T20 Man of the Match awards behind Virat Kohli and Mohammad Nabi. He has managed to score over 30 runs or has taken 2 or more wickets in over a quarter of the T20 matches that he has played in. Only 2 other players, Pakistan's Mohammad Hafiz and Bangladesh's Shakib Al Hasan, are better than him in that area. For most of his T20 career, Afridi preferred to play as a bowling all-rounder and ended his career with a bowling strike rate of 22, meaning he took a wicket every 22 deliveries. That is about 1 wicket per match in a T20. While he may be the 3rd highest wicket taker in T20s, those 98 wickets have come at a very high strike rate. When you compare his strike rate with other bowlers who have played over 50 matches and taken over 50 wickets, he ranks 18th out of a list of 20 bowlers. Not quite legendary stuff. Afridi's figures do indicate that he has never really crossed the threshold of what it takes to be classified as a great. While his record does show that he has contributed from time to time, Afridi is one of those players that has clearly lived off some of his one-off performances. His fans expected him to deliver constantly with the bat and ball, but unfortunately his numbers indicate otherwise. Afridi no doubt was a high-impact cricketer for Pakistan in T20s, but his record in ODIs falls short of greatness. Even in T20s, Afridi is considered to be Pakistan's greatest T20 player. Yet when you compare him to another Pakistani all-rounder, Mohammad Hafiz, Hafiz has a better batting average, a better bowling average and a better bowling strike rate than Afridi. Yet the narrative persists that Afridi has delivered better results than Hafiz. The bottom line is that Afridi was a useful T20 bowler and he has played some memorable knocks in ODIs in T20. But basically, his career can be summed up by quantity rather than quality. Whether Afridi is a GOAT or not, the numbers do tell a definitive story. But we'll let you decide that on your own.